طيب. Interview with Dr. Sherif Abdel, who is going to talk about Risala in Egypt and the work it did in Egypt. The first question is, how did the idea come to you of Risala, the NGO itself?
It never came to me.
What happened?
I was teaching at Cairo University. I came to AC 2004. Before that, I was a professor at Cairo University in the College of Engineering, and I used to teach juniors in electronics and communications engineering there. And it is in the classes we had discussions about the society and our ethical obligations toward our society, our country, our communities. And I was criticizing the indifferent attitude that most of Egyptian youth has towards this country. That they say, we don't care, Wana Mali, the word Wana Mali, the famous Wana Mali. This indifference is very widespread in Egypt. So to my surprise, some of them approached me and said, we want to stop saying Wana Mali and would like to do something. So I was surprised. This was not my plan, by the way. I was just talking that we have problems in Egypt and we have problems in our attitudes towards the country. But I never thought of doing something. I was just talking, not doing. And to my surprise, some of them said, let us do something. And you kept asking me, what should we do? I said, I don't know.
Wow.
And I asked them, do you have any ideas? They said, they don't know. I don't know, they don't know. So what should we do? Then let us think about it together. So we met several times. This was the spring of 1999. So we, after several meetings, we came up with the idea of establishing a student club. Like, community service clubs here at AUC, establishing a student club to spread the word of stop your indifference.
Where did it start?
That's what I'm saying. We are in the College
of
Engineering.
No, I mean in the area. Where did it start?
No area. We are in the College of Engineering. The idea is to establish a student club in the College of Engineering to spread the meanings that we're talking about. Stop being indifferent. Do something. Help others. So that's it. This is how it started. So we started after the final exams. The first meeting was June 25th, 1999. So that day we established the club. And they gave it the name Risala. After a vote, we discussed the different options and they decided to call it Risala. This is how it started. A student club in Cairo University. The purpose is to spread the word of activism. Do something. Stop being indifferent.
I heard that the first building was in Giza.
This was later, but we are just a student club.
Okay, so it started with a student club.
Yes, and there was no idea coming from me. It was a discussion in class. So discussion in class led to a discussion after class, led to the establishment of a student club to spread the word of being active and proactive and not be indifferent.
Okay.
So we started in the summer of 1999. So we started as doing something in the college itself. So they did blood drives in the college and they did cleaning campaign, cleaned the whole college. Nice. They started visiting orphanages and nursing homes, teaching computer classes inside the college. So one of the relatives of one of the students in the club heard of what we were doing, he was impressed, so he donated a piece of land.
Okay.
So to get the piece of land as donation, we had to become an NGO. So this came by mere coincidence. We never planned to be an NGO. We never planned actually to be a student club. I never planned anything. It just happened. One thing led to another, it just happened. So a discussion in class, the end result was a student club. And the student club received a piece of land, so we had to establish an NGO. So we became an NGO with the same name. In the year 2000, the student club in the year 1999, and the NGO is in the year 2000. With the same name, with Risala. So we received the donation. The donation was a piece of land in Giza. So now we have a piece of land. Now we are an NGO. So we established a building, and we established our own orphanage. And students kept coming from the college to the orphanage, to the building of the NGO. And it kept growing. More students come, more volunteers come, more activities. So day after day, it is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's it. This is how things happen.
And do you think that Risala, when it started, is still doing exactly the same thing now? Or do you think that it changed a little bit?
We are increasing in the number of activities, in the size of the activities. So we're growing. It's growing, more activities. And when we started, it was just an orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have as many volunteers and one building. Now we have so many buildings and we have so many volunteers and we have so many activities. So it grew in everything, in all the numbers.
And did you do some like works in the field? Did you attend things that the students
you mean
did?
personally?
Yeah.
In the early days, yes. Now I don't have this time because it's too big now. In the early days, yes, I participated by delivering, food and help to the needy, and I went with them to the used clothes fairs that we used to do everywhere in Cairo. Now I don't have time to participate.
And what is a personal story that actually marked you?
There are millions of stories, actually. I have millions of stories.
What is something that marked you and made you? What is something that?
No, not a particular incident. We have millions of them. We have millions of stories. The volunteers whose life has changed, the needy people whose life have changed, the people who, because of Risala, received education, and the people, because of Risala, they walk today. They could have been in bed because they are sick. Millions. The size is too big.
Yeah.
The size is beyond a single story that's moving me.
Yeah.
There are literally thousands and thousands of stories. People having their lives revolutionized because of either volunteering or because of receiving some aid or because of both. We have blind people who are volunteering as well. So they are receiving services and they are volunteering. We have everything.
And did the students from AUC come to you for the idea of Risala AUC or?
Yeah, AUC started before me joining. Risala AUC started before me joining AUC. I came to AUC in 2004. There was Risala at AUC. I came and it was there. So I became automatically the academic advisor, and since then it is there. There is Risala since before me coming to AUC.
And can you? So the building started in Giza, and then how did it spread?
But we every year or two we get some donations. But we get a piece of land in Masr Gedida in Helwan. So every year we are building something else. So year after year we kept growing in the number of buildings as well, and outside of Cairo as well. Every year some people would come from some city somewhere in Egypt, and they say we would like to establish a Risala branch in our city. So we let them do it and we give them help and stuff. So we kept growing inside of Cairo and outside of Cairo. So we have about 50 now branches or so outside of Cairo. And
where outside of Cairo?
Everywhere. Alexandria, Azzim, Mansoura, Tanta, Mahalla, Fayoum, Bani Suif, Asyut, Sohag,
It's practically everywhere.
It's practically everywhere.
And there were allegations that Risala AUC was from part of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah, allegations about Risala, all of Risala. Yeah.
So how did you react to this? To those
I was
allegations?
shocked and surprised and saddened. And to this day, I'm shocked, surprised, and saddened. It proves a lot about the Egyptian people. They believe anything. We tend to believe anything without proof, without evidence, without even asking questions. Critical thinking skills in this country are zero. So I was asking on TV, who should you blame? I said, I blame the education system of this country. People learn to memorize things. They never use their minds. It is, unfortunately, the sad truth. So they believe anything. What is the evidence? No evidence. Why are you saying so? We don't know. We just heard someone else saying it. So in Egypt, one person can start a lie, and then it becomes a national lie. It's believed by everybody. Yes, this is what happens when you have no critical thinking skills.
Back to the point of you as a personal going into the fields. Where were the places that you would go?
Then?
Yeah, then.
Yeah, slums.
Where?
Areas.
Slums where?
In Cairo. Cairo is full of slums.
Yeah, but like the names of the slums. Can you name them?
I don't remember, but I remember one of them was Ben Sarat. This is clear to me. But slums are everywhere in Cairo, but the one in Ben Sarat is vivid in my eyes. But there are slums in Haram, there were slums in Maadi.
Why Ben Salayat is vivid?
Because that day there was a debate. There was a debate saying we wanted to take photos of what we were doing. So some said that you are insulting the poor people if you take photos. So we said, let us, then we'll take the permission. And the sad truth is, we didn't ask anybody's permission. People were not interested if we're taking photos or not. People jumped. They were fighting with us to get the
attention.
The supplies. Actually, the least they could care about is to be photoed or not. Khalas. They were interested in grabbing as many bags as they needed, and they fought with the people distributing, and they can, they can punch someone on his face to get the bag. Poverty in Egypt can, some poor people are, to get the help, they can be so aggressive.
So
to discuss whether to take photos of them or not is,
it's not even.
We are not living in this world.
Yeah.
It's not an issue. There are other issues.
And what's the the worst thing you've seen?
Worst in terms of what?
Like something that really shocked you in the slums.
In the slums? Yeah, the sheer poverty. Yeah, it's shocking. When some people don't have bathrooms and they share a bathroom with so many families, stuff like this is shocking. Sometimes there is no bathroom khalis at all. So I don't know how many kilometers by they walk to get into the nearest bathroom of a mosque or something. The poverty is shocking. And this is and it could be just 2 minutes away. There is a rich area, people living in fancy apartments and having expensive cars. Just 2 minutes away of them, people without bathrooms.
And who do you think is blamable for that?
Everybody. Everybody in this generation, the previous generations, cannot single out any person or any government. All governments and all people. It's not only the government, it's the people as well. It's indifference. This is the indifference that I was talking about day one. This is the indifference I was talking about, and it started Risala.
And what's you think? Do you think when the government says we bring them houses and we try to move them, but they keep coming back, do you think that they're actually doing something, or they're just?
No, the issue is more complicated than the government cannot do it. It's not so easy, kid.
Why?
It's the sheer size. It's huge size. So many poor people. So many of them. And governments are not powerful enough or efficient enough to solve the problem. The problem is really difficult. And our governments are not very efficient, very successful. They are doing effort. I'm not saying they're not doing anything. They are doing, but the problem is bigger than the capabilities of our governments.
No. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome.
For this interview, and I'm really grateful that I had to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, I'm honored.